Hey everyone, it's Michelle Vina-Baltsas. It's Sunday night, and I wanted to jump on really quick. I had a really busy weekend with my son and my family, and it was great. And I was around some people that I haven't seen in some time, and of course, the whole weight loss conversation or came up, not around me, but around them. And I was around a lot of other moms, and I was just hearing a bunch of stuff. And one mom had lost a significant amount of weight last year. She became pre-diabetic and she got scared, of course. And she decided to go on a very strict diet and cut out sugar and all that other kind of stuff. Very common for people to do. And when I saw her this year, I noted that she had put on a significant amount of weight. And it was just very interesting to me because, every once in a while, like I think that what people are doing in terms of dieting, and I'm thinking to myself, you know, maybe what they're doing will work. Maybe they'll have long-term success. So this is like a confession that I'm telling you because I find it so amusing that after doing all the work that I do and studying everything that I study and reading all the dense research papers and everything else that I'm always, in about weight science, that somehow somebody is going to find a way around the science and they're going to be able to keep the weight off. And every time I am wrong because people aren't able to. And so it's always confirmed to me that taking a weight neutral approach is the only way to find your natural weight and to find, to discover good metabolic health without worrying about the number on the scale or the size of your jeans. And so it was a good reminder to me. So in this case, being around this one particular person, it wasn't a long conversation. It was really more of like overhearing some conversations at the concession stand. But it was, things like, oh, well, as soon as I took back the sugar, this and that and the other thing, and I'm sure you can imagine, you can fill in the blanks. I don't need to go on about it. But, I just remember her last year, like saying that she's really licked it this time and she really understands what she needs to do to continue on this journey. And I just remember thinking to myself last year, I hope that works out for you. And also on the other part of my brain was saying, it's not going to work. Really, the science is against you. But of course, I didn't say that to her because she didn't ask for my advice, so I didn't give it. But, even in my position, knowing everything that I know, there are times when I still wonder, am I the crazy one? Am I the one who is being negative and thinking that maybe it is possible? Maybe it is possible that someone can keep the weight off. And the reality is, I'm sure, that whatever it is, 3 to 5% of people are able to keep it off with restriction. And of course, I know that. But I still think that maybe there are some people that are able to do that without restricting. But it doesn't appear to be that way. And I have never met anybody. And in the industry that I'm in, my other colleagues that I know have also never met anybody who was able to do it without restricting or doing some serious chronic compulsive exercise. So again, very compulsive behaviors, nothing that anybody would want to do long-term basis because it's unsustainable if you don't do it. So, I just wanted to share that and just sort of confess it a little bit that there are times when I still am like, is there another way? Is there another way to sort of to get around this? And I don't believe that there is. I really don't. Um, People will tell you what they want to tell you what they want to tell you, and you never really know the whole story. But the bottom line is that the body shows it. And even if people aren't talking to you about their food, which of course they don't need to do, and it's not something that most people want to discuss, but when the weight gain is apparent, and in this case it was about a year ago, And I've seen her intermittently, but like she was in a vehicle, so I couldn't really see her body. And it wasn't that I was checking her out. It's just that it was very, very obvious. And so it just made me think, like, no, Michelle, the restriction thing is never going to work. And, she did whatever she did to shed the weight because she had fears. And I totally get that. And that's not a judgment at all. And I understand that that's a knee-jerk reaction that a lot of people have. I also want to be very clear that that's not the only option that people have. So anyway, I just wanted to share that, and just to say that, it's confirmed to me over and over again that restriction is never the answer, and that weight loss is not the answer because it doesn't solve the problem, and in fact it creates more problems, the restriction. So, if anyone is having any doubts tonight, that to try something new because tomorrow is Monday, or perhaps to try a new weight loss plan that seems really flexible, and has all these bells and whistles and promises that it's not going to be restrictive and that the weight is going to come off and stay off for good. How many times have we all heard that? Really be skeptical. Be skeptical because even though I sometimes forget, even if it's momentary, it's not going to happen. It's just not going to happen. There is no diet. There's no diet, restrictive plan, or lifestyle that is going to give you long-term weight loss and happiness. It doesn't exist. So, like I said, even though I have momentary lapses of, wow, maybe they did find something, God continues to show me that ain't the answer, and that they did not discover the fountain of youth and happiness in their diet. It just isn't possible. So I hope that this is encouraging for somebody, because I don't know, when I hear people being transparent that sometimes they have doubts, I'm always like, woo, I'm so glad I'm not the only one. So I just wanted to tell you this because I thought it was kind of funny, but I wish this woman nothing but happiness. And she did ask me some questions afterwards, and I was happy to share with her without overwhelming her. And you know what? Again, always planting seeds. And I want to add that this woman is a therapist. She just received her doctorate. She just defended her doctorate. She's an extremely, extremely bright woman. But this has nothing to do with intelligence. This has to do with educating yourself about weight science and about the realities of dieting and restricting. And you could have a PhD in life and still have absolutely no clue how to treat your body around food. And none of that means that you have a healthy relationship with food or with your body or anything like that. It's not an intelligence issue. It's an open heart issue. It's a willing to and being open to learning that there are other ways to manage your relationship with food, or to navigate food and the way you feel about your body and things like that. But again, you have to be open to that. Your heart has to be open to that so that you can receive the information and assimilate it. And it's not easy, but if you're not open to it, it's a lot harder and almost impossible. So if you have any doubts tonight about weight science and whether or not restriction is for you, or if you're contemplating going on a diet tomorrow, I urge you to post in the group. Maybe you might need some support, or go read one of the many hundreds of articles that I've posted in the group. Go online and read about health at every size. There's loads of information out there that will tell you that restricting is a losing battle. And anyway, I hope you're all doing well. I hope you all had a peaceful weekend. And that's all. Feel free to drop your questions or concerns below. So this is my evening confession from Michelle. My new title I've decided is Diet Recovery Coach, because anti-diet just sounds really negative to me. So I love the idea of Diet Recovery Coach, because that is what I do. I help people recover from the trauma, and it is traumatic, of diets. So Let me know what you think of my new title. I think it's really fun and it really resonates with me and I feel really good about it. So I'm sending love to you all. Keep your hearts open to it all. Stick with the science. Stick with your experience, because most of you know that dieting never works. So if the articles aren't working for you and aren't resonating for you, just take a ride back in your history and see all the times when you've dieted and restricted and where has it left you. For me, it's left me in a hole with lots of dirt on top of me, feeling miserable about myself. And I choose not to go there anymore. And I know that many of you choose not to, but for some of you that may be on the fence about it, hopefully this video has helped you to get off the fence and go on one side or the other. Hopefully it's on the diet recovery side. So again, sending you all love, and we'll talk again soon. Bye-bye.